early on in the business, when I would speak to groups of people about coffee, people would ask me that, sell me on being a coffee drinker. And I'm like, no.
No?
I will not, because...
Hey guys, welcome back. I am author, actress, producer Michelle Gracie, and this is Talks with Gracie. This episode is sponsored by Mocha Mami Coffee. It's the coffee, and we have the owner here, Tanea.
Yes, hi.
Hello. Owner and founder of Mocha Mami Coffee. How are you?
Yes, I'm well, and you?
Good. I'm so happy to have you.
I'm glad to be here.
Yes. So tell us, Tanea, tell us a little bit about your background. Like tell me, how did you grow up? Where did you came from?
Okay.
Just give me the spiel.
You want to know a little bit about me?
Yes,
all right.
yes. Give us tea, but coffee.
I'll give you all the coffee.
Yeah.
So I was originally born in Boston, Massachusetts. So I definitely had like a New England type upbringing early on in my life, being on the Cape Cod and doing deep sea fishing or just fishing off the pier, clam digging, all of that stuff.
Wow.
So that is my foundation.
Nice.
I spent my summers in the south side of Chicago, 79th Street, and then I did Windy City.
What? Like, isn't Chicago kind of like dangerous? Like,
it was safe for me.
Okay.
And it was a different time too. So it's definitely gotten a lot more intense, and we had to take our precautions.
Okay.
But when you're a kid, you just deal with the environment that you're in.
Yeah.
So that was still, sweet memories for me.
Oh,
Harold's
nice.
Chicken, all of that.
Nice. I never been to
stuff.
Chicago. I never been to Chicago, but I always wanted to visit. But then I got straight away because of things I heard. So I was just like,
I can understand that.
Yeah.
Just prayers out for the
city.
Yeah.
I might just take you with me. Like, I need Tanea to come with me. Okay.
So I was there every summer. My great aunt, who ended up raising me, she was there for 40, 50 years and planted roots. So she came from Boston to Chi-Town, opened a few businesses, and then after living in Chicago full time, moved to South Jersey, then to Philly with a couple of stops and a few other states in between. So my upbringing is just, I've been in a lot of different environments and seen a lot of different cultures, and I'm so grateful for everything that I experienced. Like when I look back, it's like, you can't write your life. I couldn't have scripted a more beautiful experience because I saw so much and so many different people, and I really am so thankful for that.
Wow.
Yeah, that experience growing up did make me a bit of an introvert. However, I'll go to new places and be like, all right, let me just check the scene for a little bit.
Okay.
And I'm trying to break out of that, but that's kind of like, the adding onto my personality.
Okay. You're an introvert. You're still an introvert. Like, even though growing up you still are. Like, So how is being an introvert and being a business owner? How is that? Like, do you run into any hiccups along the way, or do you encourage yourself, like, you got to go out there and make these sales. You got to go talk to people. Like, how is that? Like, tell us that.
That's definitely the largest point of anxiety for me.
Okay.
Even in my corporate career, just having to sell myself and why I deserve this raise or this bonus, like just selling myself and having to speak on me, like part of my being introverted also comes with the part of my personality that's just humble and I'm like, I'm okay. But as far as being a business owner, because it's something that I'm so passionate about, it almost feels like there's a switch where I'll go from not wanting to be in the spotlight to, okay, you're talking about something I know and love, then that passion comes out and takes over. So it's the passion driving it.
It's the passion driving it.
Yeah.
So you're passionate about coffee, or are you passionate about serving? Which one is it? Is it coffee, or is it other things tied, like serving people, or finding a need and, you know, providing that need? Tell us about that. Like, what is it? Just the passion of the coffee, or is it more?
So I love coffee. Like, it's always been something I would turn to bond with people I don't know, to commiserate with my girlfriends, like, girl, let's go get this coffee.
Yeah.
I need to talk, I need to release, or I could bond with someone who's from a completely different culture than me, but we have this in common, like, you need coffee, I need coffee. And I recognize that. But for me, it's about giving good things to good people. Like, I know how many people love coffee. I know quality coffee. So I just wanted to give good things to good people.
Oh.
It's that simple.
That's nice. That's nice. My grandmother, I used to drink coffee a lot when I was younger, because I lived with my grandmother for a few years.
Okay.
And the way she made her coffee, the best. Like, it was so sweet, it was so creamy, and when she made her cup, she would make mine.
I love that.
So I drank coffee when I was little, but after she passed away, I really didn't have a desire to make coffee because I couldn't make it like her. Like, I don't remember how many cups of sugar and, you know, how many teaspoons of sugar or cups of, you know, cream. I didn't know the ingredients. Like, so I just strayed it away. My father still drinks coffee every morning.
Okay.
My mom, she's not really a coffee drinker, but I drink coffee every now and then. But it's tea that I like sometimes. It's more relaxing for me. But tell me about your coffee. Pretend like I'm coming in your coffee shop and sell me your product right now. Like, turn me into a coffee drinker if you can. Like, tell us about Coffee Mami. Like,
so I think that's interesting. Early on in the business, when I would speak to groups of people about coffee, people would ask me that, you know, sell me on being a coffee drinker, and I'm like, no. I will not, because if you are a coffee drinker, then you know coffee, you love coffee, and I respect people's choices. Like, I still like tea, so I respect that as well, and I have a preference when it comes to that, whether it's loose leaf, whether it's herbal. So I completely, you know, don't want to change where you're coming from, because even within coffee in itself, when people are asking what's the best cup, what's the best farm, it's all about your experience with the coffee. We could sit here and tell you all day as coffee connoisseurs, farmers,
I love that word,
retailers. Yes, anyone can be a coffee connoisseur, that this particular coffee has undernotes of fruit, or, you know, high notes of molasses, but what you experience is going to be yours. You may taste some brown sugar, and that's the beautiful thing. So all the experts in the world can tell you this is what this cup of coffee is going to give you, but they can never really tell you what your experience is going to be. So I just want to give that to people, and my experience of other people's reaction to my coffee is that it's pure, it's bold, they can taste the flavor, whatever that may be for them. I know where some of the soil and the elevations in which the coffees are grown may contribute certain notes to the coffee, but what they experience, again, is going to be completely unique. And I love that part of it. I just want to be a part of your journey and your experience as a coffee drinker.
Oh.
So I sound like such a salesman. You see, that's passion.
You're so good. You're so good. I don't even care. Like, yes, let's talk business. Let's talk business over coffee. You know, so what is your favorite flavor? Am I using the right terms with the coffee with your coffee line?
You know, it depends on my mood too. Sometimes, it's very tied into my vibe. Like, I'll be like, what am I feeling today? What do I need? Do I need that strong coffee that I know is never gonna let me down and wake me up and jolt me up? Some coffee makes me a bit more creative than others. Like, I know if I drink that, I need to have my journal next to me, your journal next to me. Writing some prompts, and then sometimes I need something that's a little bit more mellow, like maybe a darker, sweeter roast, which common conception is the darker the roast, the sweeter the coffee, and it's actually the opposite. So the lighter the roast, the higher caffeine content, because when you think about roasting, right, you're kind of like solidifying the flavors. Some things are being burnt off, one of those mainly being the caffeine and the coffee. So the lighter one, lighter coffees generally tend to be fruitier and have a higher caffeine content. So what I like to do with like my lighter roast is I'll put maybe some oat milk and honey in it. That's like my favorite pairing. And it feels really like honey
yes. in coffee. I never would have thought, because I put honey in my tea. Never would have thought to put honey. And then people put cream in their tea. And I always thought cream
was going to ask that. That's like an English tea when you do the creamer and the black tea. Yeah. So it's along those lines.
Oh, wow.
Maybe I am going to turn you into a coffee drinker.
Maybe. So speaking of drinking coffee, what flavor of coffee do I have here?
Okay, so that is my African espresso, which I actually have right here. So we roast a few beans from a couple of different countries in Africa and put them together, and we roast it really dark. And it's a nice, pure, bold flavor.
So I'm actually about to drink this with no sugar and no cream.
Jumping off the deep end for a tea
drinker. If I want to become a coffee drinker, because for one, I need energy. I have long days, like meetings, right? Like, or on set, or writing, trying to, I have things are picking up, like podcasts. I'm being guest on podcasts. So like, I need some energy. Like I need to, and I can't just always sit down and eat some fruits and vegetables, correct? I can't, so I need something fast and on the go where I can like get that boost. No, right before here I was saying like how tired I was. And he was like, let me make you a cup of coffee. And I was like, you're right. So I'm about to taste this. That's good.
Thank you.
That's good.
Thank you.
And I'm not a coffee drinker, and I'm not lying.
That's a big win.
It's pure. It's pure.
Love that.
It's really, really good.
I appreciate that.
Gosh.
So happy.
So definitely strong though. But no. I'm not definitely strong though. Definitely want to add some cream and sugar later on.
Okay.
So
acceptable.
Yes, but it's fresh. I can taste the freshness, and it's not bitter. Like some coffee, like it's not. Some coffee that's black, it's very bitter. It has like that bitter aftertaste. I don't taste that. I don't taste that. It's real smooth.
Are you sure you're not a coffee drinker?
I'm very sure.
I think those early days got into you. They're still in there. That foundation.
That little girl is still there.
She's absolutely
she's probably coming out. She's probably coming out.
Hey everyone, my book signing for my first book, Becoming a Great Man, will be held on March 5th, 2023, from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. It is Great Gatsby themed, so come in your best Great Gatsby or formal attire. It will be located at Vino Wine Bar and Shop. To RSVP for my book signing, go to sweetvictoryproductions.com. Hope to see you there. This episode of Talks with Gracie is brought to you by Mocha Mami Coffee. Whether it's for a morning pick-me-up, an afternoon treat, business pitches, or a friendship check-in, a cup of coffee can serve many purposes. Mocha Mami Coffee has got you covered with their delicious and expertly crafted coffee blends. Dedicated to sourcing only the finest beans and roasting them to perfection, Mocha Mami promises to deliver a cup of coffee that is rich, bold, and full of flavor every time. With delicious roasts like Valley Blue, Brazil Santo, and American Espresso, Mocha Mami offers a variety of unique and complex flavor profiles that are sure to delight coffee enthusiasts of all types. To order your new favorite coffee, head over to mochamamicoffee.com. Use promo code Gracie at checkout to receive a special discount just for my listeners. That's promo code GRACIE. Okay, now let's get back to the show.
So, did you drink coffee as a child?
Similar
Were you allowed?
to you. My great aunt, my grandfather's little sister, raised me. So my mother passed when I was 8, which is what prompted my permanent move to Chicago.
Okay. You was raised by your
great aunt.
Great aunt, okay.
And she was an avid coffee drinker. So that was definitely part of my experience and core memory, as they say, growing up. And I recall she would not want anyone to talk to her until she had her coffee. She would not let me make her coffee until she trusted me, I guess. Like, I would always see her making. I think I had the formula down and the recipe. I'm like, let me make it. Let me make it. She took no chances, wasn't having it. But the day she let me make her coffee, it was a moment. Ooh. It was a whole moment. I will never give her recipe away, but
come on now, I need help. I'm looking for I can't get my grandmother recipe, but if you know a recipe, you're not gonna give it away? You're not gonna give it to me?
There's a lot. So if you talk to, but listen, if you talk to like some of our elders or people that have traditions from their elders, I love hearing the different ways that people make coffee from different cultures, different neighborhoods, because there's always a story.
Yeah, because
and there's always small variation or something, but it's something that they hold near and dear to them. And I think that's a beautiful thing. So I hope it comes back to you. Maybe
it's not.
meditate.
It's not.
It's in there.
I don't remember. I look. I visualize. I have a clear vision.
Okay.
Of me sitting at the table at my grandma's house, and her. I don't remember because I never saw her do it. It was always ready when I came downstairs, or it was behind her. Like I was just sitting. I'm a little girl. I'm short. I'm not looking like, oh, what's she putting in there? She just handed me the coffee and we drank coffee together. It was the cutest thing. That's my grandmother. But yeah. So I don't know. I guess I just have to play with it. And who. I can remember someone who never met my grandmother. He's an ex of mine. He made his coffee before, and it tastes just like her, and it almost made me cry when I had it. I was like, you just made the coffee like my grandmother. Yeah. And I almost cried because it tastes just like her. And so, yeah, I remember that. That's the moment I remember, and I still don't know how he made it. I didn't ask him. Okay. So I guess it's just a mystery. I guess it's like when I do taste it, she's coming to me like, hey. Like it's a remembrance of her. Like I don't need to know. It'll come. It'll come to me again.
When it needs to.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes.
That's so nice.
Yes. So I have a question.
Yeah.
I hear people say that are coffee drinkers, when they haven't had coffee in a long time, that they have this headache. What's that? Tell us about that. Like, do you know anything about that? Like, why that is? And is it because they drinking coffee too much? They drinking it every day? Like, explain that.
Yeah, it's probably something like that. They're drinking it too much. It might not be a quality bean that they're using. You mentioned the smoothness in this, and you acknowledge, some coffee you've had has like a bitter taste, that's a high acidity. So some cafes or carts might be using a Robusta bean, which is cheaper to get, but it's higher in acidity. It has a higher caffeine content, so it might, make you jittery and stuff, and it does have that bitter flavor to it. So the higher quality, more expensive coffees are using Arabica beans, which has a little bit of a lower caffeine content than the Robusta, but it's leaps and bounds with smoother, lower acidity and things like that. So those headaches could absolutely come from withdrawal. They might be, drinking a poor quality coffee, maybe too much. Yeah.
Wait, I know this.
I am not a doctor.
But this ain't no poor quality coffee, so I doubt this will happen. I doubt this will happen for your, effects for your coffee. Tell us, so you do own, this is your business. You own the business, and tell us about the hiccups that you experienced throughout running this business, starting this business, in selling coffee?
Okay. It definitely is going to come back to that anxiety over initiating conversations with people. It's a personal thing. I think I feel like I need to get over putting myself out there, knowing that I have something of value to offer, and maybe people want it, maybe they don't, and that's okay too, but just getting out of my head and crossing that bridge, you know, and having the conversation, because you don't know what's going to come of it.
Yeah.
You know, a small example, the other day at a deli, I was looking at an older couple order everything, and I was like, why are they ordering so many things? They're just two people. Who are they feeding? So I opened up the conversation and just had a beautifully robust conversation with this woman I'll never see again. And I was so happy that I just stopped like being in my head and was like, let me ask her what's going on here. I learned something new. She had let me try some of the meat that she was having. Aww. She gave me an explanation, suggested recipes. Like, it was a moment.
Yeah, your personality is just so pleasant. Like, when I just feel like when you approach people, because like when you approached me and we talked for the first time when we met, it's just, you're so pleasant, and it's just, you give off, like, your personality will make a person want to sit down and talk to you over some coffee. It just matches your personality.
Thank you.
It really does.
I have to say, the energy is equally as beautiful over there. For sure. Take it from an introvert who watches and observes.
You sure do.
I see good energy.
You sure do. When you're quiet, and I'm just like, she is observing, she is listening, she is interpreting, she's taking it in. I know you. I not know you, but I feel that. And I think that's an awesome quality and gift to have, like, to just be just to be still and observe. You know, I think that's pretty dope.
So one of the things I observed about you, my new friend.
Let's get into it. What's coffee?
You have absolutely wowed me as I learn more and more about where you're coming from and what you've got going on. Like, I truly just sit in, like, how does she do all of this? Like, you have so many things that you want to pursue, and then I see you, and it's just been a short amount of time since I've known you, but I just see them unfolding and you laying the puzzle pieces so gracefully, might I add.
Well, the name is Gracie.
Okay.
Living out that name, you know.
Yes, you are.
Oh, but thank you, though. Thank you. I'm trying to manage it all, and I'm trying to be grateful and not complain, because I remember the times when things were slow and steady, right? Okay. When things weren't even, it was just, they weren't picking up at all. It was just doing the same thing every day. I'm just trying to prepare for my book release, you know, but as soon as this book dropped, I'm telling you, like, it was like every day I had something on the schedule, every day. So I'm actually in a learning process of managing my time. Okay. I like talking to one of my friends, she said, girl, now you even have to put in a time for yourself. Now you got to put it in the calendar, a time for yourself, a time where you can talk to friends, a time to get a cup of coffee now.
Pour into yourself so you can continue.
Yeah, so like I really have to schedule that now, because I was out here looking crazy one day. My friend was like, are you okay? I was just like, girl, no. I'm managing so much. I don't know. I feel overwhelmed. I don't know where to stop. I don't know where to, it was just great. But it's getting better. But again, I try not to complain. And people come to me and tell me things I need to hear. Like, give me advice, great advice. And it's amazing to have my support system. Like, that's important. My support system, like my friends and my family, they're very supportive, and they tell me things that are needed, you know, so I can continue this journey, you know. So I think with time management, that's how I'm able to do it all.
I'm impressed.
So thank you.
You know, it just sounds like you're doing it with such wisdom as well. Because what I'm hearing from you is that you're acknowledging the importance of quieting down and really looking for wisdom when it comes to you. You can be so busy in your head that you ignore it and you don't hear it. That's so important.
Yeah, I think so. I actually find myself doing more of like at the end of the day, I would sit in my room and do nothing, like stare at the wall. And it's actually pretty relaxing because I'm not talking to anyone, I'm not looking at my phone, I'm not posting, I'm not thinking about work, I'm just sitting here looking at my wall. And it calms me down. Like it calms my mind down, so I can go from work to rest. Yeah. Like I'm resting now. I don't have to worry. I don't have to think about it. Because as soon as I wake up, I'm on the go. You're on I'm on the go. As soon as my foot hit the floor. But now I had to stop that too. Now I wake up and I pray. Okay. I take my time. And then when I get out of the bed, then I start working. But before, when everything was picking up and I was excited, I would just break up and boom, go to my computer, go to my phone. It was getting crazy. I'm just like, I feel crazy. I feel off balance. I felt off balance in the beginning. And I was like, wait a minute, I gotta get back to my roots. Because I remember in the beginning of my journey, I learned how to quiet my mind. I learned how to meditate in the morning when I wake up. And I was like, all right, I gotta get back to that. I gotta get back to that routine.
You know what felt good for you.
I gotta get back to that routine. And it goes to say, like, that term, all things work together. Everything you learn just comes back full circle. Yes, and I truly believe that. So, with your coffee, are you thinking about any coffee shops? Are you thinking about expanding your business from where it is now?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to bring things from offline to IRL in real life. So it's something I'm researching and figuring out the steps to kind of make it happen.
Where can we find your coffee at now? What's the website?
I am online and I'm at Mocha Mami Coffee. That's MochaMami COFFEE.com. Mocha Mami Coffee everywhere on the socials as well.
Nice. Yeah. Y'all heard it here first. Don't forget. So, last question before we wrap up. I have two questions.
Okay.
What name would you call this chapter in your life right now? Like if you had to give it a name right now, what would you call it?
I want to say it's still brewing.
Oh my goodness. Y'all are blowing me away with this chapter's names, like these chapter names.
It's a good question.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Thank you for that.
That's good. Okay. What would you say? What would you name the next chapter of your life?
Hot and ready. Girl, that's okay. For one, I gotta keep it real with you. Yes.
That's my chapter now. That's me now. I'm hot and ready. No, for real. I'm about to turn 27. I'm trying to get some babies cooking. Like, you get what I'm saying? I'm trying to get some babies cooking in the oven. I'm single. Yep. No, for real, girl.
Speak it. Yeah.
Hot and ready. Cheers.
Yes.
Cheers to hot and ready. I love it.
Thank you.
Well, you heard it here first. Mocha Mami Coffee. Tanea, thank you so much for coming.
Pleasure is mine.
The conversation was beautiful. I never thought I would enjoy talking about coffee. But I think it's because it's with you. It's with you, and you're so pleasant to talk to, and you're so light. You're not heavy. You're light. You're light-spirited. I love that. All right. Well, there you have it. Thank you for watching. Talks with Gracie.